There's a big issue with social. I don't, if I'm in favor of social security the way it is, I'm not. So I don't know.
We're good talking against socialism and the Democrat side.
That's not my issue. There's a thousand issues. What's your issue? That's fine.
No, see, you're professed to be a Christian, you says thou shalt not steal. Within the dictionary, it explains state stealing is taking somebody's property without their permission. So you're taxing young people to pay old people.
Listen, he totally lost me. You go in there and you start saying, I'm going to be a Christian and all that stuff. That just, it turns me off when you say that.
But you need to be turned on about steal for young people.
Hey, listen, I agree your passion, love it. I love you're always active. I respect you for that, 100%. But just because an issue is so vitally important to you, doesn't mean it's not important to me, but it's not going to take all my attention. I got a lot of...
Okay, so as you can see in that particular meeting there, when he says the Social Security is not his issue, well, it should be, because he's a representative and he represents everyone. And everyone has a particular issue of there that's a concern, which means your representative, everybody's issue, no matter who they are, is your issue, because you're representing them. And in a segment there, I know at other meetings, he goes and says he's a Christian. Well, that's wonderful. But if someone is bringing it up that he claims to be a Christian, and then he turns around and says that it turns him off, how much of a Christian is that? If someone came up to me, that would just give me stronger grounds to show my faith. Anyway, here's another, this is a video one of Lankford at a meeting, and I'll let you go ahead and listen to that.
Let me say it this way. I'm not afraid of anyone. If the money that's in that Social Security fund, we'll just call it that, when the federal government has to borrow money, which we do clearly, based on what's even happening this week, when they borrow money, the first borrowing happens from ourselves. And then the second borrowing goes out into the global market. Treasury bills, savings bonds, all those things go out. And people all over the country and all over the world buy those. But the first borrowing is from ourselves to be able to take that money that's in the Social Security fund. We borrow that money and then pay interest back into it. So the interest is the same going to Social Security as it would be to somebody with a Treasury bill or a savings bond. But it goes back into that same account. So that's helping fund Social Security as well as the tax money that's actually paid that actually goes back into that trust fund itself to be able to secure that. The reason that we're running out on Social Security is because people are living longer, thankfully. We have fewer people that are younger, that are working, that are paying into it, and as you've got folks that are living longer, having more income and paying into it, it starts to diminish that account. So it's actually not the borrowing out of it is the problem, because the interest is going back into it. It's simply the number of people working that are younger and the number of people older that are actually receiving the benefits on it. That's why in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan and Tim O'Neill saw that coming 30 years ago and said we're going to change that retirement's going to move from 65 to 67, and they changed it a month at a time over the years to be able to shift that to try to stabilize it and also increase the amount of tax for Social Security to try to stabilize it. That happened for 30 years. The problem is, what Dr. Goldberg was saying was, it is the third rail to talk about it, because if I go on the floor and to say, we need to fix Social Security, AARP tomorrow will start running attack ads on me. Tomorrow. And they will spend millions to beat me up, no matter what my proposal is. Doesn't matter. They'll say, don't you dare touch Social Security, no matter what the issue is. And there'll be multiple other organizations out there, retirement organizations, that are like, James Lankford wants to steal your Social Security check. And that will be all of the ads, no matter what you propose. So it has become a big, ugly thing, because these retirement organizations that are out there have become wealthy and powerful, and they are noisy. And they'll send out millions of emails to people saying, your senator's the problem.
Okay, so on Lankford, he does state that they borrow the money from Social Security, which to me, it was never to be borrowed, number one. And yes, he said they're making interest and they're putting the money back with the interest. Okay, well then, how much interest is being produced here? And where is the rest of that interest going? Because he's saying people are living longer, thankfully, and yes, thankfully people are living longer. Well, if you need more in Social Security with these people living longer, then why is not all of that interest being put in there? He didn't say it was all put in there and returned, or at least I didn't hear that. Also, I don't think they should touch the Social Security at all, because it's supposed to be its own little account, so that way it can keep providing. Because we don't know how much is borrowed, we don't know where the borrowed is going, and we don't know how much is being returned. And yes, people are saying there needs to be transparency, and this is true. At one point, he refers to it as a trust fund. Okay, that's great, a trust fund. Then how come your name is not on it? And I know they could do some deal and get this going to where people can have their name on their particular Social Security account, and also, at that point, being theirs, be able to leave it to a beneficiary. Because they earned it, they put money into it, that means they should be able to say where it goes one day when they die. And it may help a family member that they know of. And to me, that would just be such a relief and a comfort that I could do this for a family member and owning the Social Security. And so he's saying he can't help anything with Social Security, is what it looks like to me, because he says a big group, and he says AARP, would attack him. That's my understanding. Well, he says he doesn't fear no one. That to me is showing fear right there. And nobody should, to me, when you're a representative, you're representing people. And if you have moral values, then you're going to stand on your faith and you're going to do what's right for these people. So what if another company comes to try to knock you off your pedestal, knock you off your job? Well, at least you did what was right and what was good, and can sleep peacefully at night. My name is Rhonda Hopkins.